And I don't mean to be critical, and I hope young ladies listening don't take this as personal criticism, because I don't mean it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But you're young queens, beautiful and smart and brilliant and bright. And it really, I know I'm taken aback when I see on a college campus young women dressed in strips of clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd correct me if I'm wrong, sir.
Mm-hmm.
No man wants his woman to be out like that. Right?
No, I grew up on Method Man saying wearing 3/4 of cloth, never showing your stuff off.
And like you said, there are ways of being sexy without showing so much.
Oh, please. And that's really not sexy.
I mean, one of the most sexiest, most beautiful pictures is you. I forgot what year it was, but you got on like a basketball jersey and like some jeans, you eating some popcorn. That is...
Thank you so much. I want to thank God for giving me the opportunity to be born a woman. I'm coming. I want to thank my mother and all the mothers. Miss Tina, you said it well. All the mothers. I see Dochi's mama out there. Saw on the front view, giving Deacon Johnson him a good view. I'm so happy, happy like me.
Hey, my brother's back again with another one. Oh, the opening you just saw, Eric Badu and Felicia Rashad, right? You're doing clips on portions of shows. I think Erica Badu was at an award show, and Felicia Rashad was at the Breakfast Club. And the thing is, they were saying essentially the same thing in a different way. What they were saying is that black women have lost all self-respect for themselves. You know, one with wearing all this revealing clothing and out with the garish wigs and stuff like that. Something that back in the day, the hookers, the streetwalkers wouldn't wear. They would not wear. They had more respect for themselves than the women today do. And on the opposite end, having BBLs, getting BBLs and pumping themselves up artificially. And it's really not about the men, if you think about it. It's about the men. I could stand if you got a BBL and you're a OnlyFans girl, or you're a stripper, or something like that, where you have to make money with your form. That's the cost of doing business. That's not something that you would ordinarily do if you weren't in the business. But when you're a 60-year-old grandmother, Vivica Fox, or somebody of that ilk that has no reason to do this kind of stuff and you still do it, then it has nothing to do with a man. You're past the stage where you actually need to have that. Somebody like Vivica Fox, she never needed that. She never needed to have a big behind. Never. She never had one, and she made tons of money and had tons of fame and had tons of fans without it. Men appreciated her form as it is. Men appreciate her form as it was, just like Charlemagne was saying to Felicia Rashad. You had on a basketball jersey and jeans, and you had more class, elegance, and beauty than somebody like Sexy Red Glorilla with, strips of cloth around their breast and around their private parts. And somebody had made a comment on a very old video I did, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, about We're not checking for them no more. And I described the state of how bad of an actor, of an attitude, or not only back then disrespect toward black men that black women have, and they expected us and other groups of men to love them, to want them, to desire them, and how low the bar was of our affection and our desirability. Really low. Still is. Maybe even lower. And now it's got to the point where their standards are so low, they're willing to do anything to themselves to do what? To prove what? To be what? To look like what? All the stuff that we say we don't like. We don't like with our women. If you're up there on stage, that's different. But our women have BBLs. We don't like our women to be overweight. When they're praising to be being overweight. We don't like our women to have all this funny style hair in their head. Or the large eyelashes. Or the caked on makeup. And the more we say we don't like it, the more they do it. The more we say we don't like it, the more they show up with it. To the point where not only do they disrespect us, they disrespect themselves now. They're a cartoon character of themselves. So respecting us isn't even part of the equation anymore. To the point where elder females, which should have happened a long time ago, I don't know where Felicia Rashad and Erykah Badu have been, and even Felicia Rashad had to apologize before she even made a comment on the way black women dress nowadays or where they look nowadays. She had to apologize first. That shows you where we are. Erykah Badu had to make light of it, even though when she walked out, everybody knew what it meant. What it means is that the older women, when Erykah Badu, she was one of those people that did that kind of stuff when she was young, so she understands. She understands that she disrespected men and she disrespected her body back then too. But at least older women had the temerity to kind of say something to her, even though she ignored it, to kind of rein her back in before she went too far. Now, these group of women that Gen X that grew up with this stuff, they don't have that. They didn't do that. In fact, they embraced the rebelliousness. They did. They embraced it. Now what? You don't respect yourselves anymore. You not only have you given black men your behind the kiss, you give the whole world your behind the kiss. But you still expect the world to embrace you and love you, and then you go out on TikToks and your social media and say how much other groups of men, other races of men love you and embrace you. And when you travel, you find out that's not true. You don't respect yourselves. You don't respect us. That's why I don't even watch the Pop the Balloon show. I have no idea why men watch it. None. I don't understand. I think mostly it's black women's fault about them being the way they are and dressing the way they are and disrespecting themselves. That's 90% of it. The other 10% is us. I can't tell you how many men love this kind of behavior, this disrespect and behavior, because trust and believe, if no man touched her, if no man approached her, they would be forced to change their behavior. They'd be sad, but they would be forced to change their behavior. They would be. As Donald Trump is forcing them to do it right now. That's why they have their eyes down. That's why they have their head down. They have to eat crow and they don't like it. That's why I don't watch the Pop the Balloon show. I don't. I said that from the very beginning. This is ritual humiliation for men. And I see men, they revel in it. I said, it's showing something. It's showing how black women feel about us and what they're willing to do for us and how they enjoy seeing it. And it's something I've known for quite a long time. Black women revel in dissing you. Black women revel in rejecting you. Black women revel in disrespecting you. They do. And the more they can get away with it in public, the bigger the juice, the bigger the high, because it puts you down further. That's why most men don't approach pretty women. They don't. If you approach a pretty woman and you're not what she wants, and she looks through you and look down like you're not even there, and you feel like you're lower than a gopher in a hole, you might do it once, you might do it twice, but they're going to actually stop you from that behavior. And, pretty women, to their credit, they don't really realize it. That's just a function of how they grew up. That's why most men we know, it's not really her fault. And then pretty women wonder why nobody talks to them. That's why nobody talks to them. They're not approachable. And as a pretty woman, as a beautiful woman, trying to be approachable brings problems. I understand why they don't. Most people understand why they don't. For black women, trying to figure out how come you don't get married. How come you can't stay married? How come your men leave you? How come if your men can find people elsewhere, they do? And then you cry to massa to try to keep that man locked in that box. And on the other end, you do everything you can to drive him away. Do everything you can to disrespect him. Do everything you can to tell him that you don't want him. Literally, that ugly behavior. And you guys run to this ugly behavior. You guys run to the weaves, the makeup, the hair colors, the eyelashes, the body build, the weight, the food, the talk, the behavior. Why do you have a ranking Democratic representative in Congress, man, slapping her hand on the freaking table, sounding like she just came out of the projects? And she's proud of it. And the black women around her are snapping their fingers. You have Michelle Obama disrespecting her husband, in national social media. And black women are not saying, hey, Michelle, you need to chill out on Barack. Hey, I know y'all wasn't always perfect, but you don't have to air him out like that. Okay. Which the white women are doing. Hey, Michelle, you need to tone that down a bit. They understand that, no man is perfect and he's just a man. But the thing is, you got to respect his position and his status. You don't have to, but she doesn't. And guess what? The black women are snapping it up. Like when she didn't show up for the Jimmy Carter's funeral, which is disrespectful on so many levels, and you didn't show up for the inauguration next to your man, which is also disrespectful, and nobody checked her for it. She's a white woman. All, heaven and earth are going to rain down on her head for not coming and supporting her man. But to black women, that's empowerment. So all this stuff that we see from black women, like the BBLs, the weight, the food, the eyelashes, the bonnets, the hair. Pauli Murray said it way back then in the 1940s. Black women have been in open rebellion against black men for decades. Open rebellion. And you wonder when they got a chance to make Uncle Sam her baby daddy, she left. She's been in open rebellion against you for a century. And now it's so blatant. And you have the nerve to do all this stuff that we don't like. And the demand for a $200 date. Demand for you to be wined and dined and treated like a queen. Demand for us to kiss your feet. Demand for us to pay 100% and take care of you and your kids. Demand for you to take care of you and your children that you had by 4 different men. And make 6 figures and basically treat you like you're the queen of the earth. And on the other end, we have men that come in and do what? Side with them. You're supposed to come in and save these women because you're black men. You're supposed to come in and clean up their mistakes. You're supposed to be able to take their disrespect. They don't mean it. But you're supposed to be man enough to come in and take all this stuff, get nothing for it, and that's your reward. That makes you a man. Are you kidding? The black community is treating men like they're insane. Like we're supposed to be some special kind of Rain Man with low IQ and low emotional IQ and accept any kind of abuse from our women, privately and publicly. This America is insane, man. It is insane. That's like a passport bros are getting on as many jets as they can, getting the hell out of here. American is freaking insane. But you kiss up to that white woman. You carry her water. If she sends you out on a mission, she sends you out on a go mission, you take it and you will throw yourselves on a grenade for her. But you can't bring your own man a cup of water. You can't go to the gym and look decent for your man. Black men are not asking for you to be rail thin and 110 pounds. They're not asking for you to have a gym body. They're not asking you to be submissive like a Latina or an Asian woman. All they're asking for you is not to be in open rebellion against us. Give us something. And you've disrespected us to the point where you disrespect yourself, your whole image. That's what the Erykah Badu video was about, right? The whole display of the BBLs and the big legs and stuff like that, which is stripper culture. And you have so little respect for yourselves, which started with disrespect for your men. You're in open rebellion against yourself, not just your men. And it's gone so far that even the women that used to do it are calling you out. That's insane. Our women are insane, and the men that think we need to come back and actually tolerate this behavior are even more insane than they are. That's why I was not unhappy when Dr. Umar got called out by his child. And he had women snapping it up about that. Open disrespect for your father. Open, blatant disrespect for your father. And black women are snapping it up. And I don't think that black men see this blatant disrespect for themselves. And so any self-respecting group of men would not touch this group of women. Say it right here. Any self-respecting group of men will not even come close to touching this group of women. Let them die out. Let them die out. I say that all the time. If they cannot respect themselves and respect you, let them die out. If they want to be alone, they want to get together, they want to do the Golden Girls things with their dogs, man, let them die out. Stop feeling sorry for them. If they're offering you a peace sign and their butt to kiss, let them go. Oh, they're going to be lonely and they're not going to have any kids. Let them go. You wouldn't even feel sorry for children like that. If a children's going to be bad-mouthing you and giving you they're behind the kiss, that little child will starve to death. Sometimes I wonder, do black men have so little respect for themselves they're willing to tolerate this kind of crap? Maybe there's something else going on that I need to think about. Anyhow, that's the end of my little mini rant, and I'll see you guys next time, man. Ugh.